Good afternoon, well, Tony Murray. Do you know what? Never again, ever will I go on one of these dating websites. Ever again. And I'll suggest to any of my friends out there, don't do it. Now, because it'll be really, some strange things can happen on it. Do you know what I mean? I'll tell you an incident what I actually went through a couple of years ago. Anyway, a couple of years ago, I was on one of these dating websites, right? And I was talking to this bird, right? Oh, she seemed all right. So, we was talking for a couple of weeks and all that. And then we decided to hook up for the very first time, right? What was really strange about it was, though, she invited me around her house. And I thought, well, that's a bit weird. But, I'd go with it and all that. It's all to do with trust and all that. You know what I mean? So, I went to her house. First time I've been in that area and all that. Sat down in her living room. She had her hair all out and all that. And thought, well, no, she's at home, so it doesn't really matter about her appearance and all that. And she had all these toys around the place and all that. Now, this is a true story. She got all these toys around the place. And I said, well, you got kids? She goes, yeah. I said, that's nice. How many kids you got? She goes, 8. I thought, how much? She goes, 8. I thought, wow. What, their dad passed away? She goes, no. I got 8 different baby fathers. I thought, Jesus Christ. And at that time, all their kids started to come into the living room. Now, their age from the age of 2 going up to about 12. Now, the little one walking around with just his nappy on, snotty nose and all that. Now, some of the kids were jumping on my lap, and saying like, Mummy, this is going to be our new daddy. And she said, well, let's hope so, if he decides to spend the night. And I think to myself, like, fuck will I? And I thought, I need to get out of this house. I need to get out of here. So I had to think up, a quick excuse, like. And I said to her, look, I didn't know that you had kids. If I'd known, I wouldn't come here empty-handed. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go down the shop, get him something to eat, some couple of sweets and crisps and all that. She goes, that'd be nice. There's a shop round the corner. It's about a 2-minute walk from here. So I thought, all right, and, I'll go out and get him something to eat. As soon as I walked out that door, I thought, I ain't going back there again. You nuts, I'm going home. Now, what was I thinking? So I'm there trying to find the bus stop and all that. Now, it's been taking me a good while to find the bus stop, right? And what she's done, because, I was taking a bit too long. I was probably about 20 minutes or so. She must have realised that I'm not coming back. Right? What she done, right? She called the police up, right? Yeah, called the police up to report a missing person. She told them that her fiancé, right, he went to the shop, and he's still at the shop, and he's got dementia. So she's really worried. Right? No, I didn't know this at the time. I was at the bus stop, waiting for my bus to go home, and all that. And the police car pulled up, and said to me, like, Tony Murray? I thought, yeah. He said, you right, son? I thought, yeah. I said, look, I ain't done anything. And he goes, no. They got out of the car, and they said, to make sure you're right. I thought, yeah, I'm fine. I ain't done anything. And they said, oh, look, mate, your fiancée, she's worried about you because, with your dimension and, you've gone missing. I said, I haven't got a fiancée. They said, we understand, son. Have you taken anything? Take anything like what? No, I don't smoke weed or anything. He goes, no, have you taken, like, your medication? I said, no, I didn't take no medication. And they thought, yeah, now we understand, son. Do you want to come in the car? I thought, look, I ain't done anything wrong. He said, no, son, you're not in trouble. So they put me in the car. Well, I thought they were going to take me down to the station and all that, or, give me a ride all the way home. No, they brought me to the nut house. That hospital down in Camberwell. Said to me, my wife and my fiancé and my 7 kids. I thought, I ain't got 7 kids. And you sure you didn't take your medication? No, I didn't take no medication. So they pumped me up with, all these antidepressants and all that. If I wasn't mad before, I was definitely mad now. Fuming, mad. Bunging me in this room. A padded room. Left me in there for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, they came around and said, look, we think that you're all right now, so you need to go and phone your fiancée and tell her you're sorry. Now, as soon as I got onto that phone, I phoned my mum. I said, Mum. She said, where are you? I said, guess where I am, Mum? Guess where I am? Where are you? We've been trying to find you for the past 2 weeks. I said, Mum, I'm in a nut house. She goes, what you doing there? What, you're applying for a new job there? I said, nah, Mum, they've admitted me in there. You know, so I told her what happened. So she came down and bailed me out. But I tell you something, never again will I go on one of those dating websites, because you don't know who you're going to meet. Look, my name is Tony Murray. I'm out of it. Some people say that I'm mad, but I've got to be mad to do something like that. Do you know what I mean? Never again. My name is Tony Murray. I'm out of here. Ta-da. I've got to be bloody mad